Gigi Lemaine kicking off the party for us here on 5FM. Welcome to the hottest party here on 5. This is the Stir Up. My name is MsCosmo with you for the next 3 hours here on 5FM. Gigi's hanging out with youngster CPT 25K with Yo Start. Before that, kicked off the party with Missy Elliott. Throw it back here on 5FM. That's exactly what we do. I give you the hottest and local and international hip hop here on 5 for a 3 banging hours. Today's going to be a really awesome show. I've got somebody special who's going to be joining me in studio. Somebody who's been doing, or not necessarily doing, but he's been on our fingers because he's been on the timeline. We've been tweeting about him. We've been obviously showing some support, showing some love with regards to his journey. And we're going to hear a little bit more about him as he steps into the studio and we have a chat with him. So obviously to interact throughout the show, all you have to do is hit me up on the WhatsApp line 082-550-5151. You can send through some of your voice notes as well as some comments. And you can also tweet me, MsCosmo SA, 5FM, and the Weekend of 5 is where we at for the whole show. Yeah, man. So we're still going to keep you warm and make sure that you get the hottest tunes here on 5FM. So this song is definitely no different. Solo hanging out with Questa on this one is called Promises. Before that, gave you Abi Bolano by PH Raw X and Shoma Josie. A big shout out going out to Solo and Dineo. Solo made a lifelong promise to Dineo this past weekend by marrying her yesterday out in Cape Town. So a big congratulations to them. They had a beautiful wedding if you saw anything on social media. And it's good to see hip hop growing up, man. And that's what we're about here. We're about celebrating where hip hop is going, where hip hop has been. And of course, a big hip hop star has just stepped into the building right now. I've been waiting for him to obviously get here for us to announce. I'm so glad that he's here because we've been wanting to chat to him for a while, and officially he is in the building. Emtee, what's up?
What's good?
What's up? What's up? So happy to have you in the studio.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. Thank you for the invite.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Have you had a busy weekend?
Yeah. I've had a pretty busy weekend, yeah.
Where were you at this weekend?
I was out in Durban and Nelspruit and Witbank.
Nice.
Lit, yeah.
So you're still out here, you're pushing, you're still trying to make sure that the coins are coming in, they're rolling in,
Yeah, no other way, This is the only way I know how to, make my way through. So
that's so true. So obviously I mentioned a little bit earlier that I am having a guest in studio, so it is Emtee who's going to be joining us. If you have any questions for the homie, send them through to the WhatsApp line 082-550-5151. Of course, you can send some on Twitter as well, hashtag the Stir Up. MsCosmo SA is where I am, 5FM as well as the Weekend of 5. So Emtee, a lot has been happening in your life. A lot has been changing.
Yeah.
It's always been up and down, but we're happy to see you looking better and doing better for yourself. Are you feeling fresher?
Thank you. Yeah, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm feeling way better, taking charge, taking control.
Yes.
Just that feeling of, bossing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing feeling. It's something I've wanted for a long time now.
For a long time, indeed. All right, so obviously we've been seeing certain things happening on social media. We've been hearing certain things with regards to yourself, you leaving the label, people obviously having all of their comments. And I think the most important thing about having you in studio is obviously kind of chatting little things about that, because people don't necessarily ask you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't necessarily get your side of the story. They speculate and they kind of leave it at things like that. So have you officially left Ambitiouz?
Yeah, I have.
110%?
Yeah, I have.
And was that a difficult exercise for you to kind of do, for you to kind of get to where you are now?
Yeah, it was difficult for me to do. I had to think, once, twice, thrice, you name it, before I made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't an easy one to make, Yeah.
Especially because you had been with them for so long, right?
Yeah, from the jump. So it's like, it was a hard one.
What was it that made you kind of sit down and say, you know what, at some point I kind of need to do this on my own?
Yeah.
And for you to kind of say, you know what, we need to kind of cut ties because at this point in the game, I need to run on my own steam.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I just feel like it was time for me to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like I wasn't given that room to grow while I was still in there.
Yeah.
So right now it's just me trying to find myself and to really see if I can do this on my own.
Nice.
And I can.
Yes.
You know? It's not impossible. I'm already, starting the foundation of that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just more of me trying to grow.
Yeah.
And taking ownership of how I move, what I do.
Yes.
So that tomorrow there's no confusion as to what I did, where I went, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of a lot of logistics now.
That's so true. And I think a lot of people also forget that you were running on your own steam before Ambitiouz came along.
For sure.
People seem to forget how hard you were pushing in the beginning when you dropped Roll Up and how you were actually trying to put yourself out there. So are you feeling like you're back on that same energy that you were at in the beginning?
Yeah. For me, I feel like I had to, go back to basics when it comes to that. Just remind myself of where I started and the energy and the drive that I had when I started off,
Nice.
And, still continuing working with Ruff.
Yes.
Because that's who I started working with. So ain't nothing changed over there, So, yeah, I had to do those kinds of thoughts.
Yes.
Step back and kind of reevaluate as well.
Yeah, that's so true. All right, so we're still hanging out with Emtee here on The Stir Up. Please send through some of your voice notes as well as some of your tweets as well. Hashtag The Stir Up is where we at. We're going to be with him for a couple of more minutes, so make sure you send them through. So that is Emtee with Plug on 5FM. Still hanging out with the homie in studio with me today. Make sure if you do want to have anything to say to Emtee, send it through on WhatsApp 082-550-5151. I am taking some of your voice notes, also taking some of your calls as well. So if you want to call in and speak to him, 089-110-0505. We have some really dope WhatsApps coming through as well. Some comments for the homie.
Hey, what's up, MsCosmo? Yeah, it's Karaman, in fact, from all the way to Bani. Sure, I'm fact, Emtee, I'm fact, Nganyo kakhulu mchita ngithi hayi mfethu qhubeka phambili mfethu. I wish inkampani yakho ikhule mfethu yabo. Be grand. Mr. DI2, Mr. Manando. In fact, dope music. Mfethu.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Your people still love you.
Yeah,
hey?
for sure. That's for sure.
And I think that's the important thing to kind of take away from being in a situation where you kind of feel as though people are kind of attacking you.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to social media. Don't you find that social media sometimes is a little bit too trollish or too negative?
Yeah, it is. It is, and I'm not surprised, really.
You're not surprised.
That's my come up. Like the internet is my come up. So
Yes.
I know exactly how people on the internet. I know how cruel Twitter can be. All that stuff.
Is that why you choose to clap back the way that you do? Because
I think
sometimes
so.
you come through with some of the clapbacks. I'm like, this one.
Yeah, for me it's just to be like, when I had 100 followers and still tweeting the way I'm tweeting, nobody was checking for me. I'm still going on like that, and I think it's just one of the elements that I want to show people that I'm a real human being.
Yes.
Like, I'm always on my phone. Yes, for sure. If there's a Twitter thug out there, it's me.
Yes.
I'm always on Twitter.
Yeah,
sure.
You can sometimes be a troll yourself also.
Yeah,
Do you go searching for tweets? Because sometimes I feel like this one he went to go and fetch it.
I look for some of them. Purposely.
I'm glad you can own it because, sometimes people can kind of hide behind, the way that they behave on social media. But I guess, like you said, you're an internet child and that's what you kind of feed off of.
For sure.
Do you think things have kind of changed since your come up? Because obviously you being an internet child and kind of running on that steam to then being in like a more controlled space where you have to be through a label.
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of hinder your creativity and the way that you can kind of do things?
It certainly does, you know what I mean? Every time I tweet, my trending tweets and stuff, like I get calls like from, like bosses and stuff like that telling me to ease up. And I'm still hard-headed when it comes to that because I can still put the phone down and be like, all right, cool, I hear you. All right. and then I go back, and then somebody playing with me again, and I clap back again. Then it's that cycle again and again. So
I guess so. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is who you are. And that's what you've always been unapologetically open about. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I
I'm
dig
an
that.
activist.
I dig that. I dig that. So how's things kind of been with your transition? Has things kind of changed or been easy since you've left the label? Because now you've kind of felt the difference between being hungry and on the come up, kind of having a lot of things at your disposal, cars, houses, money, having to kind of go back on running on your own steam and doing things on your own.
Yeah.
Has your lifestyle changed?
Yeah, it has, man, in a major way, and I'm thankful for that because it humbled me. Not that I've never been a humble person. I've always
Really?
been humble, but then it's like the small things, like the love people show me. They still show me the same love that they showed me when I was winning awards and stuff like that. And that part of it all has never changed. So those are the kind of things that just keep me going, really. Always try and make sure that I'm in the studio, regardless of what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true. And of course, that's also kind of giving you the steam for you to kind of continue with ATM as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the objective, and what are you kind of trying to run with ATM? Because I know a lot of people were kind of confused, especially when you were still at the label, to say, okay, he's got this movement called ATM. Is it just a movement? Is it a label? Are you trying to push other artists, or are you just trying to push the sound?
Well, first of all, ATM is a genre that me and Ruff discovered. It's called African trap music. It's just we're just talking about African stories on trap beats, and then Ruff, adds his special touch, and tweaks them and stuff like that. It's also a movement. There's a lot of upcoming artists. We've got Ranks, we've got Sims, and they just dropped a mixtape like a couple weeks ago, so people can go check that out. We've been so that's what I've been focusing on, really, just trying to help the homies, and I'm featured on the mixtape too, so people can hear a bit of me in there. So
I think that's important as well, to kind of give the kids the cosign as well, just to say, yo, you need to listen to this next guy because he's got the juice.
For sure. I learned that from people like Questa.
Yes.
Squatter Camp. OGs. They've always been passing the torch on. So I'm doing the same thing.
That's so dope. All right, so we're still hanging out with Emtee here in studio. Send through some of your voice notes. I am getting a lot of them, so we're going to sift through them and make sure that we play the best voice notes that come through. But of course, 082-550-5151. Emtee with Abantu here on 5FM. This is the Stir Up. Emtee is in studio with me. He's hanging out for the next couple of minutes. So if you have any questions or comments, please send them through 082-550-5151. Obviously, gonna be chatting to him about where his music is at the moment, his life at the moment, and where he's gonna kind of take it. I do have a really interesting voice note though, asking a very particular question.
Hey, yo, MsCosmo, this is T from Durban. You got the GOAT, Emtee The Hook God. What I want to know is how he masters the hook game, man, because he always kills it.
So that's a very interesting question. He's obviously asking how you master the hook game, but I think to kind of add on to that, I think for me, I also want to ask with regards to some of the features you've been doing now compared to the past. Which adds to you doing certain hooks and things like that. I know it was a little bit difficult for you to do features. Are you open to doing all of those things now?
Yeah, most definitely. Right now, I'm just working with any and everybody, really, that's willing to work and just really follow protocol and understand that I'm still Emtee. They still don't gotta play like that, But anybody really open to work and respects what I do. Yeah.
Would you possibly work with Aries again? Or is that like a damaged relationship?
Most definitely, I would work with Aries. Like, for me, I just feel like even if there's problems between artists, we still have to work because, there's only so many of us, Where else can we go and say, hey? Because you can see every time we try to reach out in the States, it was always a brick wall and stuff.
Yay!
So we gotta keep it here.
Speaking of that, there was also even the tweet for Rich the Kid.
Yeah.
Did you get a feedback on that?
I just got a retweet. That was it.
Hopefully.
And shout out to Anansi though,
Yeah.
because he also stepped in, tried to make it happen.
Hopefully, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, what's meant to happen will happen.
For sure.
And that's, of course, given the fact that we know your talent and we know where it's going to stand. So at some point, you're going to get the right feature that's going to suit MT.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we're still out here on the Stir Up. We're going to get into the local top 5 in a moment. But do send through some of your voice notes, 0825505151, as well as some of your tweets as well. Hashtag the Stir Up is where we at. Culture Vulture remix on 5FM, 25K, aka MT on this one. We still got MT in studio with us tonight here on 5FM. So taking some of your voice notes, some of your comments as well on the WhatsApp line, 0825505151. Really like that remix, eh?
Ah, shout out
to 25K,
yeah,
eh?
Shout out to 25K for the lookout, yeah.
I'm sure now when he called you and you were like, yeah, let's actually do it. Did you take the song before you actually jumped on the remix?
Yeah, I was a big, I still am a big fan of the song. Yeah, till this day.
That's so dope. Is there a video coming out or have you guys recorded anything?
Yeah, I'm hoping and praying that we do the video, yes. Yeah, because the streets are loving.
He's a real hood rapper, and I think that's what the appeal is, that people also kind of get that relation similar to what you used to also, well, that's what you actually bring to the game, is the fact that you still kind of speak to the people, you speak their language, you know what I mean? Big ups. All right, so we've got some really dope questions coming through on the WhatsApp line.
Cosmo, hello MsCosmo, hello Mr. Emtee. Emtee, umculo wakho thina sisawonwabela, sisawuthanda kakhulu. Keep up, brother. Sonke sinawo ama-mistake, and then ke ngoku umculo wakho thina siyawuthanda thina apha Eastern Cape, booty. Keep up, booty.
So that's obviously some love coming through from the Eastern Cape. People are digging you, but they like you all over the country. So then obviously when things happen, like for instance the incident where you fell off the stage and people are kind of think, there goes his whole career. Did things really change after that?
For sure. They did.
How?
I learned to prepare myself better. Watch who I'm around before I perform, stuff like that. Yeah, just be more careful. I
guess it's also humbling experiences like that kind of teach you to kind of do certain things or react certain ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Going forward, right?
Yeah, I always tell people like me, I wasn't really media trained. I came with this from the streets, I don't know much about what to say when I'm being asked what.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I was never trained like that.
But it's cool because you're learning as you go along, which is what most artists do as well. We've got another question on the WhatsApp line.
What up, MsCosmo? Slokshniem and the PMP boy. Look, man. MT, man, I just want to say shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And I want to ask, man, are you signing or something on your record label? If you're signing, I just want to talk for PMP artists, man. We got talent here in PMP, right? So can you please come and sign one of our artists here? I'm talking as a PMP king.
As for calling himself a king. Are you signing your artists?
Hey, at this moment, no. I want to work with artists that I already have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear that. But obviously, at some point, you're going to open things up. Would you do that?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I believe so.
We still got more questions coming through for MT. We're going to be with him for a few more minutes before we wrap up. So send them through 0825505151. We're making our way to the local top 5. We've got last week's number 1 lined up and ready. As by Musiholic on this one, it's called I'm a Million. It was the number 1 tune of the local top 5 last week. We're going to get into the top 5 in a moment. We have a brand new number 5. We have a brand new number 4. That also means we've got a brand new number 1. So stick around and find out exactly who our brand new number 1 is for the local top 5. We're still in studio with MT here on 5FM. Still taking some of your questions on the WhatsApp line. And we're going to wrap up with the king in a moment. But I think this is a really key question for a lot of up-and-coming artists.
Yo. What's good, MsCosmo? Yeah, shout out to today's show, tonight's show. It's dope. You got the hustler in the building, right? Yeah, man. I just wanted to ask, what are the pros and cons, or the advantages and disadvantages of being an independent artist, as I am also an independent artist and I'm pushing and I'm achieving a lot of things independently. So I want to know the disadvantages and advantages from the man himself, the hustler.
Yeah, call yourself the hustler. You must answer the questions about the hustle.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know as yet, because I'm still learning as I go. But I would say the disadvantage really would be the fact that you have to invest in it yourself. So you just need to know, like, for me, for example, when I started off, I used to sell CDs to people, like hand to hand. So I had to make count of the amount of CDs that I make. So in my own brain, I had to have my own platinum, my own gold
Yes.
that I have to set type thing. So I think those are the sort of like disadvantages, which I don't see it as a disadvantage, more like more like something for you to take charge and learn from. And the advantages are that you have ownership, of certain things. Yeah,
I hear that. And things are changing a little bit now in the hip hop space,
for sure.
Amapiano is obviously taking over, and a lot of people are a little bit concerned with regards to where hip hop is going.
Yeah.
Do you have concerns, or do you think you've got a plan to kind of save the game?
Well, I don't have a plan to save the game, but I can say that I have music that's in the archives.
That's dope.
That could have saved the game when it needed to be saved. But now, like where I'm at mentally, is just that, hey guys, give me 2020. Let me just work with that.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm looking at right now. Just taking over 2020.
Yes, that's so true. And do you think people need to kind of go back to basics, to kind of, like you mentioned about having to sell the CDs one by one, and having that interaction with the listeners, because sometimes you also kind of get removed away, especially when the social media, so people kind of think that's where the fame lies.
Yeah. Please repeat the question. My bad.
I was saying, do you think people need to go back to basics with regards to how they market themselves?
Yeah, for sure. I've always said, like, my problem has always been that I don't see enough musicians on billboards. I don't see enough South African musicians on billboards. Why is that? Don't we deserve that? Because in other countries that's done, even if it's done through via an advert or whatever. But you see musicians there, and people in the neighborhood who walk past that billboard or drive past that billboard every day, like, there's our rapper guy.
Yes.
We love him. Those kind of things, they're very rare, and I feel like it's all up to us now how we're gonna advertise ourselves.
Yes.
Even if it's going back to basics in terms of guerrilla marketing, yes, let's do that.
That's so true. I've got the last question coming through on WhatsApp just before we wrap up the interview. Luba Balo from the Eastern Cape says, kindly can you ask Emtee when the next project is coming? I mean, it's been a year. Anyways, he's dope and I dig him. So when's the next album coming? Because that's what we're waiting for right now.
I don't know about an album, but I'm definitely working on, a collective of, a compilation of some sort.
Yes.
A couple of songs that I just want to release for the people for free.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So is that you going back to basics, going back to being the internet kid that you were?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I want to, I mean, as you said, it's been a year. People have been telling me they want new music. Almost every day people tell me they want new music from me. So what a better way to say, hey, I'm sorry, and to thank them by giving them, free music. Nobody's doing that these days.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you so much for coming through. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming to chat to us and being so open as well about where you are at the moment. And it's good to see you in good spirits. I think a lot of people are trying to support you and trying to take you forward.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, man. I see the support and the help from other fellow musicians, and I say thank you to everyone for that. And yeah, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes,
I've always wanted to, because I think I've only been here once, twice.
Yes,
times.
it's only been about twice. You did the performance for Manando, and you came through with the whole squad when we did the Ambitiouz interview. But it's dope to kind of hear from you direct and kind of see the growth in your career as well, from back then to who you are now. And I'm definitely keen on having you back again. When the new music drops, we'll come through and we'll make it happen. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Shout out to anybody who supports Emtee. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
And I saw your tweet yesterday where you said they must stop sending you beats, they must send you bookings.
Bro. I'm good with beats. I got Rough, I got Lunatic, I got Tweezy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So use the email address for the right things, please. Make sure you put money in his pocket. All right, so that's it. That's Emtee for tonight. Thank you so much. And we're going to jump straight into the local top 5 for this week. We have a brand new number 4 and a brand new number 5.